Welcome to A Student of Leadership, a micro-podcast where leaders are made one habit at a time. Hosted by Rob Adams, a leadership veteran with 30 years of experience, this podcast explores key concepts that define exceptional leadership. Each episode delves into a powerful word or strategy, offering practical insights and real-world stories. Whether you're just starting out or an experienced executive, join Rob as he guides you in learning, growing, and leading with purpose.
Welcome back, everyone, to A Student of Leadership, your micro podcast powered by Unipro Food Service. I'm Robert Adams, your host, and let me start with something honest. Most leaders don't lose people because of bad intentions. They lose people because of how they respond when something goes wrong. If you're leading anything right now, people, projects, customers, or yourself, this episode 49 is just for you. So pull up a chair. You're at the leadership table. Food brings people together. Leadership keeps them together. Real leaders, real growth, one table. Let's talk today about accountability. Why the way we respond to mistakes shapes everything. That one word alone tightens shoulders. It carries weight. And for a lot of teams, it carries fear. Somewhere along the way, accountability became confused with blame. Mistake equals pressure. Pressure equals control. And control slowly kills ownership. But here's the truth. Real accountability doesn't come from fear. It comes from clarity and safety. There's a powerful, fully documented example of this from the Virginia Mason Medical Center. Years ago, they were dealing with serious patient safety issues, the kind where leaders could have easily gone into command and control mode. Instead, they changed one core behavior. They removed the question, who caused this, and replaced it with, what broke down in the process? What signal did we miss? What allowed this to happen? They even gave frontline staff the authority to stop work when they saw a risk, without punishment. In fact, one nurse later said something that stopped leadership in their tracks. She said, "I felt accountable because I felt safe." That's the moment everything shifts. And here's what's happening beneath the surface. When blame shows up, the brain goes into protection mode. People explain, they defend, they hide. But when leaders respond with curiosity instead of judgment, the brain stays open. People think clearly. They own their part, and they learn from it. This aligns deeply with behavior-based leadership, including the work of Marshall Goldsmith. Accountability isn't about fixing the past. It's about shaping better behavior going forward. Now, let me give you a simple language shift you can use immediately. Instead of saying, who's responsible for this, try saying, which part of the process needs our attention? You see, we shifted from people to process. Same accountability, completely different impact. Now pause for a moment and reflect. When something goes wrong on your team, what's your first response? Not the polished one, the instinctive one. And what do your people believe will happen when they speak up? Now, here's the challenge for the week, and it starts with awareness. The next time a mistake shows up, notice what you feel first. Is it frustration? Urgency? The need to control? Then I want you to try one small experiment. Lead with one of these phrases. Help me understand what happened. Or Let's learn our way through this and then watch what changes. Now, if someone came to your mind right now while you're listening to this micro podcast, a leader, a teammate, or maybe even yourself, share this episode and invite them to the leadership table. That's how healthier leadership spreads. You see, food gave us roots. Leadership gives us purpose. Real leaders, real growth, one table. Now, as always, before we wrap, I want to remind you that leadership doesn't live just in one place. So for that reason, every Monday I share the leadership table on Beehive. Practical habits to help you start the week grounded and clear. On Wednesdays, we shift and continue the conversation with our Breaking Bread, a Student of Leadership, powered on LinkedIn, where food and leadership meet through real stories. And then on Fridays, The Mindful Leader lands on Substack, a short reflection to help you slow down and reset before the weekend. Different rhythms, same purpose, one table. And before you go today, let me leave you with this. Next time, we're going to talk about a leadership moment that takes less than 10 seconds. It costs nothing. It often goes unnoticed, and yet it quietly determines whether people feel valued or invisible at work. That's where we're going to go next. I'm Robert Adams, your micro podcast host. I will see you next time on episode 50 at the table. Take care, everybody.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of The Student of Leadership. Leadership is about who we become and how we help others grow. If you found value in this podcast, share it with a fellow leader and connect with Rob on LinkedIn or leave a review. New episodes drop weekly, so don't forget to subscribe to stay connected. Until next time, keep learning, growing, and leading with intention. Remember, great leaders are made one habit at a time. See you next time on A Student of Leadership.